They say how this nigga come from dirt to bad hoes and bankrolls. Over 100 shots on the E-way, I gotta make it home. I learned from my struggle, stack that duck, forget your hustle on. Go ride for your brother when he caught.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Chopping It Up with Diz and Los. I'm Diz, and guess who's back? That's Los.
What up, professionals?
You know, Los, last week we needed you in here because, breaking news the day of our show, Tibbs got fired. But first, let me get your remarks about the Knicks losing and with Tibbs getting fired.
That was a big move, after, what he did to create that, that winning culture in New York, the last couple of years, but, it's a business at the end of the day. So I think the move they did as a personal standpoint to a person who just what he did and took that team to the playoffs, I think it was wrong. But in a business sense, I think it was the right move to move in that direction. What I kept on telling you all year, man, you got to get people off the bench. You can't be starting your players like the whole game like that, man. I get it. You want to get your star players in there, the people who can produce, but you got to develop, other people, man. You got Mitch Robinson, right? Like he's a good player, man. Like I would have loved to see him play more, and I understand Cat is Cat, what I'm saying? He's been in the league for a long time. He's a star player. But, things could have gone differently if you played, these players more off the bench, man. And look, they did what they did with the players they got. So now, they're going to reassess, the coaching, see what they're going to do. There's directions that I think I'm hearing out there, like Jason Kidd, names being thrown out there to see what's going on, So, there's a lot of things that's going to happen in New York, man. They're potentially getting ready to go after Giannis, so it's going to be a lot of things going on, man. So I think it's the right move for the future. I just hope that whatever move they do, and if they do land Giannis, they're not giving up the future just to win, just to get into the playoffs, man. They need to win the championship,
Yeah, I thought it was a bad move. I said it from the get-go. He brought, the best out of that team. Then they've actually built the team and then 1 year he went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. Come on, you got to give him another shot. I know he was draining his players, and you said that from the get-go. Look at Boston bench. Look at Indy's bench. They're good. We gotta build the bench. I think with Cat, I think Nick should have played Mitchell Robinson some more. I just think Cat was a little bit. They were playing him good, and styles make games. Styles make fights. Yeah. He might the setup. How he lined up against Siakam. It might have been a little bad for him. So they should have went with Mitch Robinson a little bit more.
But there was but you would see if you take a look at some games I get it. You're going to argue with your coach because you're going to have your differences and you're going to feel a certain way on certain things and certain plays. But, there was a lot of animosity between the players and you started to hear it. Players were complaining, and there was problems with certain personnel changes during the games and stuff like that. So, and then another thing, Jalen Brunson's dad is an assistant coach there, right? And that's another name that's been thrown out there saying that, the team, they don't want him. I don't know how true it is, but they feel some odd way because he holds a lot of weight with the decisions that were being made with the personnel changes. And they feel being that that's Jalen Brunson's dad and stuff like that, that's not
that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, conflict of interest. So I don't know if they're going to still bring up. This is just me hearing things, but I don't know how true it is. If the team's, feels certain way towards Jalen Brunson's dad and him being the star player, but there's going to be a change, man. So,
So you're Jim Dolan. You're running the team. Who are you getting? Who would you get?
So from what I'm hearing,
I don't want to hear what you hear. I want to know who you want. Who do you want? Because I know someone I want.
I wouldn't be I wouldn't be mad. Like Mark Jackson, okay, you know.
That's my man. You have to come on. He's a New Yorker.
Yeah, man. Like I like Mark Jackson. I like Jason Kidd too, though, man. You know, Jason Kidd brings weight, man. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. That's the thing. If they get Jason Kidd, you know they're going right to Giannis because him and Giannis are good together.
Yeah, so like if you get Jason Kidd, you have the potential to land like a huge star like that, man. And like Jason Kidd's no dummy, man. He knows the game, you know?
Yeah, he does. He was a great quarterback for when he played for the New Jersey Nets.
Yeah, so you know, like I would like to see Jason Kidd coach the Knicks and like bring some stars, you know, even if they don't bring Giannis, but you know, bring some players, you know, on that team.
You know, well, the Pacers look great against the Knicks. They go the OKC, the first two games. The first game they won, I was shocked. Second game they got demolished. So it's 1-1.
Yo, Halliburton he was hungry, man. That first game. So from pre-game, right? I'm thinking, no way, man. SGA, OKC is young. You got Chet. You got all these guys. They're like, yo, lights out. Like they're gonna take them out. And then you see like Halliburton shock them and like, yo, all these guys just start coming up big at the end. And then like, yo, with like a minute left, bro, just the nail in the coffin. I was just like, wow, dude. It was a good game to watch. Game one.
Yeah, well,
and then game two, back to reality. Back to reality, right? You said reality sets in. SPA was like, all right, I'm gonna give you that one. You know, you're coming off that high, you know, going into the Eastern Conference Finals. All right, we'll let you take one, but you ain't taking game two. So now it's a game. Now it's a series.
Yeah.
If they went down 0-2, wow. That would have been
that would have probably been a Nostradamus prediction.
That would have been, if they go 0-2, if they went down 0-2, OKC, and those two first games were where in OKC?
Yeah. That
would have been bad, man. You're going back to Indiana for two straight down 0-2. So now they play tonight, right?
No, they do they play tonight or they play tomorrow? They played last night, right?
Oh yeah, but it's 1-1.
Yeah, I didn't check it. I don't have it.
You're right. You know what? You're right. It was Sunday. Yeah, they played.
And they have a travel day and
no.
But what do you think? You think OKC got that?
I'm not gonna commit right now, man. This is you know what? Like, yo, Halliburton's on another level right now, man. He's hungry. He's on some right now. He's on some Kobe Bryant shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's focused, man.
He's focused, but SGA is on a different planet.
Yeah, but if you look at Halliburton right now, yo, he has a different type of hunger, man. Like, this is the guy that like he's been overlooked, man. Like, yo, they underrated, bro. Like everything is like lining up for him right now, man. Like, bro, he should have and then they snubbed him for the MVP in the Eastern Conference Finals. Remember?
Yeah.
Yo, he was walking up there like he won it. Well, he was like, oh, my bad.
Well, I think that was like a little play. I don't know.
Think so?
I think so. Come on. Yeah, I mean, you got to give it to Siakam. He was dominant the whole thing.
He was, you know.
But I just think SGA is on a different level. That whole team, OKC, plays very good defense. They got one of the best defenses in the league. I forgot about them last week when I was saying the best defense. But it's going to be a good series, but I do think OKC will win in 6.
In 6?
In 6. I do think they will win in 6.
But they got two straight in Indiana.
Yeah, no. It's all right. OKC.
1-1. They're going to win one in Indiana. It's going to be 2-2, you think, out of Indiana? I don't know. Man.
I think, to be honest with you, it might be 3-1 coming out of Indiana.
Wow. 2 straight. They're going to win 2 straight.
They're going to win 3 straight.
No way. It's going 7. This one's going 7.
You think so?
Yeah,
I don't know.
7. It's going 7, and Halliburton's going to be the MVP.
Halliburton. Okay. So let's get to some other news for the week.
Huge.
Aaron Rodgers goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Big.
$13 million. What do you think about that?
Big. And then I heard that I don't know how true this is, but they he was talking with a Pittsburgh before, and they're like, yo, he was telling him, he's like, don't draft. He didn't want them to draft Shedeur Sanders because if they did, he wasn't going over there.
Really?
That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is.
I mean that, but
he was like, and then there was talk that they seen him with a wedding ring on. They said that he got married in the offseason, like in between the interim of like him not signing. Like that's why he was like MIA. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like delaying the process of like him signing.
I also heard that in February he reached out to Antonio Brown to see if he wanted to play. I don't know how true that is, but Antonio Brown came out and said in February Aaron Rodgers asked me if I would ever come back and play. I don't know, but I mean, now
I would. Yo, you know what? The name, like now, you're just selling the name Antonio Brown. You think, oh, Antonio Brown, what he used to do, but he's gonna walk off the field like freaking in the first quarter, like that's it. You know,
if he doesn't get the ball, I think DK, if that was the best pickup for the Steelers to get Aaron Rodgers with DK.
No, but don't sleep. There's a player right now who's very unhappy, and he's a tier 1 wide receiver.
I know who it is.
And I'm hearing that right now he's a former Ohio State Buckeye, and I'm hearing that the New York Jets are potentially getting ready to make a move to pair him up with Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields. Don't sleep on Scary Terry.
I heard. I did. Yes.
Don't sleep. So right now, like this is the word on the street. So imagine they make a move. Pittsburgh has the pieces to make a move also.
Mm-hmm.
It's a better fit for Pittsburgh can do it, but no, because they're in the same division, right? Yeah, the Jets and the Steelers. So we'll see.
I would say.
I'm sorry. Washington's not in the same division, so
no.
Washington can make a move with Pittsburgh if they decide, what the trade, pieces would be. But I would love to see Scary Terry with Garrett Wilson. Oh my God.
Sometimes people are just greedy because I know Scary Terry's been there for years and they've been losing, but last year was the first year that Washington did, something, and they're like, they got the franchise quarterback and everything. Now he was like, oh, if I don't get a contract, I want to leave and get traded. Come on,
you
gotta be a team player. But I know you guys make all this money, but shit, I mean, I also heard that they were talking about straight up Ayuk and Scary Terry.
Brandon Ayuk to the Commanders, right?
For Scary Terry.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk's coming off an injury. I can see them going after him after the fact. I don't think, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's been heating up little by little, the Scary Terry news. So I don't know. We'll see. But you know what? Have you been following like the New York Giants training camp?
I have.
Have you been seeing Russell Wilson in OTAs? They're saying like he's been running OTAs and it's like old Russell Wilson where, it's like far down and long and he just launches it and he's connecting with like Slayton, Jalen Hyatt. Like this is going to be an exciting offense because remember what I told you, right? Yo, when Russell Wilson used to be down by like 3 touchdowns in like the third quarter, Russell Wilson will like turn the notch up and like you just see him scramble, fucking get open, almost get sacked, just launch it. And DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett, just come down with it, right? Oh, it was like, he has an arm. And then, God forbid, I don't want him to get hurt, but like you got studs back there. You got what's his name? Jameis Winston.
Yep.
Jameis Winston in OTAs also balling out.
Yep.
Because he's playing. He's like he wants to be the back. You know what I'm saying? And Jackson Dart is nothing but just soaking it all in from like Hall of Famer, right? Russell Wilson, and you got Jameis Winston, who's like he has a career too, man. So he's gonna learn a lot from these QBs. So it's like it's gonna be exciting, man. We don't want Jackson Dart to like start
next year.
But
maybe a year after.
Let him learn, man. Let's see what he can do in scrimmage, in preseason, right?
Yeah.
And let's hope, Russell Wilson can lead us to the promised land. We need wild card. Remember what I said, right? Like all these moves, Like our defense right now is stacked, bro. If you look at our defense on paper, bro, like if you're gonna draft a defense in fantasy, people are gonna be sleeping like, oh, the New York Giants are gonna be the same old Giants. You'll feel confident drafting the New York Giants.
You know what? I actually do. I feel confident in drafting the Giants.
Top five defense.
And what about Alexander getting cut?
That's
from Green Bay. I know the Eagles are looking at him.
Yeah, and they're like saying the Giants. Remember the Giants were looking at him potentially during the offseason?
Yep.
He might still go to. Giants might still want to pick him up.
And that's a veteran player to get on there.
You
see what the GM said. The GM for Packers.
What did he say?
They were like, "How are you going to be used to playing without him?" He goes, "We've always played without him. He was always hurt." So that was a shot, but
wow.
Then another person signed.
J.K. Dobbins?
No, Chubb. Did he sign? I didn't see that.
Yeah, J.K.
Dobbins. I saw Chubb signed with the Houston Texans.
That was big. That's big because Joe Mixon stock goes down a little bit.
It does a little bit.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, a little
because
bit.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna use Chubb goal line.
Yep. But that offense is gonna look pretty good if everybody comes back healthy.
Yeah, but the QB he had a mediocre season last year, so
four slump.
Yup. And then Tank. I don't think Tank Dell's not playing right next year. He's done. Yeah. He's done, man. Who's a sleeper on the low? Whose name doesn't blow fireworks, or like ring bells. Nico Collins.
He did good. He was top.
The guy that
last year for the first couple weeks. You know who's also tearing it up in preseason? Who tearing it up? Sanders. Shador is tearing it up.
He just threw like a 75-yard, I think, yesterday or today. I saw
he was 10 for 12 with 2 touchdowns. I mean, he is tearing it up. And that's good.
Gabriel, what about Gabriel? I heard Gabriel was like a couple weeks ago. He was doing horrible, throwing picks and stuff. Well, it's OTA, so like, what are you gonna do? That's how you go through your reps and you learn this stuff, right?
Yeah.
We got to see that transcend into scrimmage. We got to see them in action, live game action.
Yep. You've been watching your Mets, huh?
Ooh, a couple people got hurt. Some people coming back. But Soto starting to heat up.
I saw something I saw the shuffle. The shuffle back.
You see the shuffle, right? Yo, when that comes out, he's starting to get into the rhythm. He's starting to feel it. But we took a little L the other day because we had Mark Vientos, our third baseman. He went down with like a hamstring injury. So he's out. So that was last week. So the Mets called up their top, one of the top rookies, right? Ronnie Mauricio. Yo,
okay.
He's good. He moved him to third. I think he hit a homer his first game that he started, bro. Yo, he's good, man. Wow. So you got him, and then you got Polar Pete, doing his thing. Polar Pete has 17 home runs, bro, right now.
What's Judge at? 20? Because I'm always going to throw Judge at you.
Oh, man. Judge right now? Where's Judge at? Let's
23?
See. So, Judge is leading right now. Hits and batting average, and he's second in runs, in on-base percentage, slugger percentage. Yo, Judge is like, killing it right now.
He is.
But you know what?
But the Yankees lost to Boston.
Yeah.
They lost series of Boston.
We're getting ready. We're getting ready for the Subway Series 2 in Citi Field, July 4th weekend. I'm trying to get tickets to that game, bro.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm so it's tough for my work schedule, so it's not like I can plan weeks ahead. Yeah. So right now I'm trying to see if I can get off on the 5th on Saturday and go to Citi Field. I would love to go and take the kids and watch the game over there, man.
That would be a good city.
That would be a good. I want to go see the Subway Series, see Judge and Soto go at it, bro.
I think Soto will probably have a good series. He's home.
I think so, man. I think this is he's starting to light it up. Home runs. He's sneaky. He has 11 home runs right now on the low. Very sneaky right now, right? Alfonso has 17, right? So you're looking at right now, he's He's right now averaging 244 with 57 hits, 11 home runs, and 31 ribbies.
Wow.
So and that's in 65 games. So he's creeping up there. Just we got to start getting more home runs, man. If we can go on a tear and get like 5 home runs this week, that would be huge. So
yeah,
we'll
it
see.
would. You know what I'm hearing? I heard this and I was like, maybe I should bring this up. But you have your computer there, right?
Yeah.
Can you compare two people?
Yeah.
Derek Jeter and Lindor, because they're saying Lindor might be the best the best New York shortstop ever. Now, come on, Jeter's got the rings.
But you're talking about Derek Jeter. He's all time, bro. Career.
I know, but someone brought that up. I was like, and they brought the stats up.
Yeah, but if you're looking at Derek Jeter and Lindor, Jeter has more years on him, so obviously he's gonna have the stats are gonna be up there.
No, but as he's going right now,
we're looking at right now.
Okay.
Career stats, right?
Good.
You look at Derek Jeter, right? Derek Jeter with 11,195 at bats, right? He has 260 home runs, over 1,300 RBIs, and over 3,400 hits. That's with over 11,000 at bats, right?
Okay.
You go to a Lindor. Lindor right now only has 5,700 at bats, 5,700. He has 262 home runs.
Oof.
Yo, Derek Jeter only has 260, so he's already beating Jeter at home runs, and that's half at bats.
Yep.
Yo, hits. Yo, he has 1,565 hits, right? Derek Jeter had 3,000 double, but he also had double at bats.
Exactly.
So that's you still got another. He has a whole career ahead of him, man. So
that's the stats right now are starting to like he might. Lindor,
yeah, but you know what? The only thing that Derek Jeter has over Lindor, Derek Jeter did it all in New York.
Yep. True.
Derek
and he
Jeter
won rings.
Five-time Golden Glove, 1-time AL Rookie of the Year, 5-time World Series champ.
That 5.
Right? 5-time. This guy has 2 AL Golden Gloves, 2 AL Silver Sluggers, and 2 NL Silver Sluggers. No championships. So he needs at least five rings, dude. Let's see if the Mets can get him a ring this year.
He needs at least one.
The Mets right now, they're saying like this is the year that like the way they're playing right now, right?
Yep.
And where they're at in stats, like team wise, right? They're the number 1 team, right, in the National League. Right now, Soto's just starting to light it up. Alonso is going crazy. Their aces, Manaea. So the other day, Sean Manaea was pitching under AAA, and he had like a little bit of a bad outing. He got hit a couple of times, but again, it was his first time seeing live game action since he had his surgery, and he was he went out. And then you got this other guy, Frankie Motos. He's coming back, so they're saying that they're gonna go after a former Yankee, possibly Aroldis Chapman, bro.
Ooh.
Yo, to beef up the bill. Aroldis Chapman is like 30.
No, I think he's 56.
No, I'm talking about like age. Aroldis Chapman's like 30.
No, he's like 40. He lied about his age.
No way. Yo, but he's throwing right now 101. Like
I know, he just threw like 104 the other day.
So you need that, bro. So like, there's a lot of names being out there that the Mets they're gonna load up before the trade deadline to like win, man. They need to win now.
They do.
Yo.
They do. And you know who I feel bad for? Paul Sykes, the Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher.
Oh yeah, he got hurt, right?
He's like, no, he didn't get hurt. He has like a 1-point-something ERA, and he has a losing record. Because, they don't give him run support. They don't give him run support.
They were talking about like the Yankees possibly going after him next year, man.
I hope so.
But
I like our little pitching squad we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Lowe's, anything else popping off? We're 25 minutes in.
No. Just there's gonna be a big weekend for all the fellas out there, just happy Father's Day.
That's
this
right.
weekend, spend time with the kids, hanging out, do what's best. Stay safe out there, barbecuing, grilling it up.
Are you going to Wise?
Yeah, my parents, I haven't seen my parents in a little while. They just came back from vacation. My mom and dad, they're out there traveling the world. They're up there in age, so they're doing
That's what you got to do. That's why you work all those years,
So, I'm going to, spend some time with my pops this weekend, chef it up, having the kids. We're going to open the pool. We haven't, my dad hasn't opened the pool yet. So I'm going to go over there probably this Friday, open it up. So hopefully he's ready by Sunday.
Oh, you're going to shock the shit out of it. Shock it.
Yeah, dude.
No, but that's it, man. Los, let's wrap it up. You can end it.
All right, guys. Again, hey, listen, man. I was MIA for a little bit. Was working the third shift, but I'm back. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Starting to gear up for fantasy football.
That's right.
So next week, same time, same place. Again, happy Father's Day. God bless. Same time, same place. See you there. Peace. Professionals.
Happy Father's Day.
They say how this nigga come from dirt to bad hoes and bank rolls over 100.